Nigeria and around the world to meet the news on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Anthony Momodio. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on MyConsult. The Nigerian Labour Congress LLC has called on the federal government to immediately intervene in the issue of cash scarcity across the country. NLC President Joe Ajaero said this in a communique he jointly signed with the General Secretary of the NLC, Emmanuel Ogbaja, in Abuja, which was issued at the end of the National Executive Council meeting held in Owerri. Ajaero said that the NEC in session had expressed concern over the persistent cash scarcity in Nigeria, describing it as an unfortunate and exploitative burden on the already struggling populace. According to him, the council noted that Nigerians are being forced to forfeit 5% of their funds each time they access cash, an unacceptable situation that exacerbates the economic woes faced by millions. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has drawn up a list of 15 ministries, departments, and agencies tagged as high corruption risk in its latest integrity report. The Commission released the report in Abuja, with the list including the likes of the Supreme Court, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, and the University of Ibadan. The ICPC surveyed no fewer than 330 MDAs in the report titled Ethics and Integrity Compliance Scorecard of the MDAs of the Federal Government of Nigeria. The anti-graft agency stated that of the 308 MDAs successfully accessed, 15 were non-responsive, while 7 were exempted based on exigent government policy. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi SAN, has declared the suspension of chairman and vice chairman of the 18 local government areas in Edo State as illegal and unconstitutional. The AGF, who spoke to journalists in Abuja on this, stressed that removing from office or suspending any elected local government official in the country is the prerogative of councillors in the said LGA. The Justice Minister said his position was based on the July 11 judgment of the Supreme Court that granted autonomy to the 774 local government areas in the country. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has shut down 8 shops and a warehouse in Karo local government area of Nasarawa State. The agency, in a statement, accused the owners of the facilities of producing and selling counterfeit rice, thereby endangering the health of unsuspecting consumers. It noted that during the raid led by NAFDAC's director for the Federal Capital Territory, Kenneth Azikiwe, over 1,600 bags of counterfeit rice worth approximately 5 billion naira were seized. The operation also extended to Wuse and Garaki markets in Abuja, highlighting the widespread nature of the illegal activity. The statement added, President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mazi Afam Osigwe SAN, has urged Nigerian universities and other educational institutions to innovate by embracing information and communication technology or go into extinction. The MBA boss gave the task while delivering the convocation lecture at Thursday's 53rd University of Nigeria Nsukka UNN ceremony. He lamented that the Nigerian educational system had yet to fully embrace innovative ICT changes, especially in teaching, learning, and research. President Bola Tinubu has expressed sadness over the tragic incident at the Children's Fun Fair in Ibadan, Oyo State, which claimed innocent lives and left many others injured. Tinubu extended his condolences to the government and people of Oyo State, and most importantly, to the grieving families who have lost their children in the unfortunate event. It was reported that 32 children died during a stampede at the fun fair in Ibadan on Wednesday, with reports on Thursday indicating a rise to 35. The House of Representatives will, on December 31st, 2024, present the sum of 704.91 billion naira to President Bola Tinubu for the use of vulnerable Nigerians owing to the economic hardship occasioned by the removal of petrol subsidy. Recall that on July 18, the House resolved to slash 50% of their salaries for 6 months to address the challenges faced by ordinary Nigerians, following the adoption of a motion moved during plenary session. Following a motion by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, the House in July resolved to donate half of their salaries to meet the hunger needs of Nigerians as part of efforts to stop the End Bad Government's protest. Katsina State Governor Diko Rada has applauded the joint air and ground operation for a raid on the established bandit camps at Bichi Hill. Recall that the air component of Operation Fasan Yama and troops of the 17th Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Katsina State carried out their attacks against the notorious bandit kingpins, Manure, Labi, and their cohorts on December 19, 2024, following credible intelligence revealing the establishment of bandit camps around Bichi Hill, which had intensified banditry activities in Damusa, Safana, Kankara local government areas of the state. This was contained in a statement signed by the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Dr. Nasir Moazu. The governor noted that the successful operations followed an intelligence report of the daredevils' activities in and around the areas. Meanwhile, soldiers during operations conducted over the week have arrested 3 notorious terrorist kingpins operating in the northwest and north-central zones of the country. The kingpins are Hamisu Sali, aka Master, Abubakar Muhammad, and Bako Wungi, a staunch ally of the wanted Bello Toji, and who is allegedly linked to the mother of a Sokoto monarch. According to a statement by the Director of Media Operations Defense Headquarters, Major General Buba Edward, Wungi died from gunshot wounds after his arrest. He also said troops have been alerted to protect the citizens during the festive season. Buba said to achieve these massive operations against terrorist leaders across the threats of operations have commenced. Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji has expressed excitement over the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority approval of the Ekiti Agro Allied International Cargo Airport. The governor disclosed that following the NCAA's approval, the Ekiti Airport will from January be open to landing by private jets. He stated this when he paid a thank you visit to elder statesman and founder of Afe Babalola University, Adokiti, Chief Afe Babalola SAN, for his vital support during the construction of the Ekiti Agro Allied International Cargo Airport, requesting further assistance from the elder statesman to secure full commercial flight operation status for the airport. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has performed the groundbreaking for the redevelopment of the Ije Police Barracks in Obalande, which will deliver 2,200 modern housing units for police officers and their families. The governor at the groundbreaking event also handed 260 new patrol vehicles and other security appliances to the Nigerian Police Force and other supporting security agencies. He noted that the project underscored the state's commitment to addressing the housing deficit and improving the welfare of security personnel. As agitations for state police gather momentum, experts at the Nigerian Society for Criminology have called for national legislation to limit the abuse of state police and check local operation of Nigerians. Professor Atanibi Alenika Smart Otu and Larry Okute Ijo made this known during the webinar Perspectives on State Policing organized by the Executive Committee of the NSC. The trio highlighted the benefit but cautioned on the need to seek expert input in drafting a framework that will be suitable based on research evidence. They warned that any rush to establish state police without due diligence would reproduce the same structural, organizational, and individual challenges which the police is faced with. You're watching Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. When Midday News returns, federal government partners Bloomberg to rebrand Nigeria's global image. Details of these as well as foreign and sports stories coming right after the break. Please stay with us. With the news. In business, exporters and stakeholders have raised concerns about the difficulties of trading within Africa. They described the logistics and policy barriers as more challenging than exporting to other continents, despite the proximity. According to the National Bureau of Statistics report on foreign trade in goods for the third quarter of 2024, exports to Africa accounted for mere 12.13% of Nigeria's total exports, significantly trailing behind Europe and Asia, while exports to countries under the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, stood at 1.54 trillion naira. Other non-African countries that topped export included the United States of America, France, the Netherlands, and Italy. The minimum pump price of petrol has not responded to the latest Dangote Petroleum Refinery export price slash of premium motor spirit to 899 naira 50 kobo per litre from 970 naira per litre. This comes as most petrol stations in Lagos retained their old price range of 1,025 naira minimum in Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, while some major oil marketers still sell at 1,070 naira per litre, and independent marketers sell as high as 1,100 naira. According to the refinery, the slash in price was expected to provide much needed relief for Nigerians ahead of the holiday season. Meanwhile, commenting on the pricing issue, the national president of the Oil and Gas Services Providers Association of Nigeria, Mazi Coleman Obasi, said Dangote Refinery has done well to reduce the extra depot price of petrol. The marketers should reciprocate by ensuring that consumers benefit from such. The price of the stoned local rice has dropped marginally by between 6 and 10% in Enugu markets, causing many residents to shift patronage to the brand. Reports say dealers in the commodity attributed the development to the harvest season for the rice as a trader at the popular Ogbete main market. Rose Wanko said that a 50 kg bag now goes for 78,000 naira as against 84,000 naira in November. Another dealer at Gariki Market in Enugu, Chidi Oji, said the 5% liter paint container goes for 6,500 naira as against 7,500 naira, urging residents to buy as much as they could before the price would shoot up again. The federal government, through the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, is set to partner with Bloomberg in a 2-year initiative aimed at rebranding the nation's global image and attracting foreign investment. This was contained in a statement released on the Ministry of Finance Incorporated X handle. Speaking at a meeting with Minister of Finance Wale Edu, Bloomberg's global director Nicole Kifi reiterated the company's commitment to reshaping Nigeria's narrative and showcasing its economic potential to the global audience. On the foreign scene, Australia has said it has agreed to boost the Solomon Islands police force with a finance and training package for the Pacific nation, which has fostered close ties with China. The deal includes a $190 million Australian dollars in financing over 4 years and will see the construction of a new police training center in the Solomons capital, Honolulu. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese told the news conference that it represents a new foundation for Australia's security partnership with the Solomon Islands. U.S. envoys have arrived in Syria to speak directly to the new Islamic-led rulers. The State Department stated this in the most formal U.S. diplomatic mission since the start of the long civil war. State Department spokesperson said the diplomats will meet representatives of the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and civil society to discuss with Syrians their vision for the future of their country and how the United States can help support them. Malaysia's cabinet has agreed to a proposal to launch a new search for Malaysian Airlines flight MH370, which disappeared mysteriously 10 years ago. The Transport Minister, Anthony Loke, said the government on December 13 agreed in principle to accept the proposal from Ocean Infinity, a company based in the United States and the United Kingdom, to proceed with the search in a new area estimated at 15,000 square kilometers in the southern Indian Ocean. He said the Ministry of Transport is currently negotiating the terms of the agreement, which is expected to be finalized by early 2025, adding that the new search will be on a no-find, no-fee principle in which the Malaysian government will not pay Ocean Infinity anything they find unless they find the aircraft. The Boeing 777 carrying 239 people disappeared from the radar screens on March 8, 2014, while en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, and despite the largest search in aviation history, the plane was never found. And jumping into the exciting world of sports, the 22nd National Sports Festival tagged Gateway Games Ogun 2024, slated for January 12, has been shifted and will now be held next year, 2025, from May 16 to 30th, 2025. This was stated in a communique issued at the end of the joint technical meetings held in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Reading the communique, the Secretary of the Memorizing Committee Secretariat to amend the game's timeline and circulate to all concerned stakeholders accordingly. Southampton Football Club has reached an agreement to appoint Ivan Juric as its new head coach, replacing Russell Martin, according to sports journalist Fabrizio Romano in a post via X. The contract is expected to be signed today, marking a significant step in the club's restructuring efforts. A verbal agreement has already been finalized regarding the contract terms, with the focus now shifting to resolving Juric's exit terms from his current role as AS Roma. Manchester City traveled to Aston Villa on Saturday, desperately seeking to halt their dramatic slide, while Chelsea have the chance to go top of the Premier League, if only briefly. Current leaders Liverpool face a tricky trip to Tottenham Hotspur after a wobble, while Manchester United are seeking to win 2 Premier League games in a row for the first time this season. Manchester City lost 1-0 to Aston Villa last December, but that proved to be their final defeat of the season as they ranked to a 4th straight Premier League title. That loss for Pep Guardiola came after 3 straight draws, which was then a slump by City's high standards. That's it on Media News, and came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276 and free to air on MyComSat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using at Global TV NJ. I am Anthony Momodu. Thank you for watching.